Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today, something new from ICM. Well, I say new, it's a combo kit. They're not calling it a diorama set, although I'm surprised they haven't actually, because they usually do when they combine figures with vehicles or aircraft. So I'm slightly puzzled why they haven't given it that title, but it's 32017. And it's basically the Henschel Hs.123A training version, which we have seen before. And I must remember I've got some paints to talk about in a second. But it's the model we've seen quite recently, combined with one of their slightly older tool, but good, because I've got personal experience of these figures. I've got them. Some of you've seen. I've got those already. Where we've got a pilot and a guy trying to help him on with his parachute, and there's also slightly confused the way they've done this artwork because it's not terribly clear, but the guy on the foreground on the right is actually an engineer who should be pointing at the engine really. and certainly on my diorama he's poking around with a screwdriver in the engine of my ME109 G6. So you get a 1, 2, 3 and a saying. Well, this will be a brief review because we have seen both elements before. But we'll just show you a lot of value here. Beautiful figures though. some of their older items, but actually really good figures, got to say. So you've got your figures here on the right. Just shows a little bit more detail. So the one in the middle obviously is the pilot. On the left he's one of the aircrew helping him with his parachute, and that's an engineer on the right. And there you've got your 1, 2, 3 aircraft. Now, before we get cracking, if you have this kit, you really need to get yourself, if you're going to purchase this one, you really could do with the Luftwaffe training aircraft paint set. Item 3097, and it's blue grey, white grey, German field grey, aluminium, deep red and camouflage green. Doesn't have a varnish in this one, but it's ideal for these Luftwaffe sort of interwar training planes. Definitely a nice paint set you should consider getting. Perfect as a complement to this set. So we're going to take a very quick look. We're not going to go through the aircraft because we've seen several versions of it recently already, certainly the A version. And we will have a little nosy at what we have got. If you just bear with me. I did mention we've had some issues with the tape on the ICM kits just in the last, well, around Christmas time, and again on some of the recent kits that came out in February. This one's fine now. That's performing completely normally, that one. Figures. Aeroplane. So, let's have a quick look. Another nice set. And in fact, it even has the instructions for the 1, 2, 3 late. And they're doing this in the way that they normally do it, where they've got a separate instruction, which is understandable. They've got the training squadrons options here. The bear and the umbrella, which somebody told me what it meant, and I can't remember what he said now. It's quite a well-known squadron, I think, though. Anyway, the bear with the umbrella, see? Yeah. Beautiful decals, nice colours there, and nice and sharp. Yeah, really nice those. Including the instruments. And that's that. Then we have just our 3 figures. Keeps the price down on this set. I think we're talking about 38 quid or something for this set, so it's not a lot of money. That's UK prices, of course. And then we've got the 3 figures here, and your colour call-outs for said figures on the back. So say you've got your pilot here, and he's in training colours, and then you've got the chap who's helping him with the parachute, and this is the engineer who's sort of stooping over, checking the oil pressure or something, making sure that the panels are all closed up before he goes on his training flight. Okay, let's have a look at these figures then, because they are very, very good ones, and I enjoyed actually creating these. It really lifted my ME109 into a diorama situation. Yeah. So, one bag of figures, and you don't have to use these as training figures if you don't want to. You just paint them in more operational colours, you know, which is what mine like. So if I just move that over there, I'm probably not going to open that, so let's have a look at these guys then. And you've got your pilot here with his parachute just in the centre of the image now. There we are. And you can tell it's the pilot because he's got his pilot's sort of leather helmet on. And he's got goggles here, if you can see that well. Goggles. And that's him, that's the actual face itself. Nicely done, isn't it? Then we've got his actual parachute itself here. Which is kind of, basically it's a bit like the RF parts, they basically sit on the parachute as a cushion. This is why a lot of these aeroplanes around World War II had very rudimentary looking seats that didn't look very comfortable. Because they would actually sit and treat the parachute as a cushion. Here's your, I think this is the engineer guy that's going to help him with his parachute. It's quite a strange looking posture. If you get them too close it looks a little bit vulgar actually. So don't have him standing too close whatever you do. And that's his, actually that's his legs here. So that's the parachute, that's the pilot's legs, I think, it's slightly bent over. Guy standing, no sorry, beg pardon, the slightly bent one here. That's the chap we just mentioned that's trying to help him. That's the pilot's legs there. And the one that's bending, stooping right over, that's the engineer. And that's him that's over here. And some beautiful detail again on these faces. And he's pointing, and you can perhaps give him a screwdriver and he can be working on the engine or something. Beautiful detail on the hand. A little bit of focus trouble, there we go. Look at those fingers, isn't that nice? Absolutely superb, aren't they? And then you've got your chap here that's helping with the parachute. And that's the pilot's hands here. Lovely. So it's a really nice set, and I painted it up 6 years ago it's got to be now. Easy, 2020 thereabouts. And it came out looking absolutely fantastic. A really nice set of figures that is. They're really pin sharp, even though it's not their latest tooling. It was about this time they started to become really good at this, I think. Around about sort of 2017, 2018 time. Delightful, delightful. We know that the kit of the aircraft is another lovely kit, and that complements it perfectly. So there we have it. A cracking kit with some cracking figures added. 10 out of 10, isn't it, to be honest? 10 out of 10. What it builds up like, well, I do know what it's like on the figures because I've done that, but I don't know, I haven't built the aircraft yet. So there we go, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Really cracking set. For under £50 you get a paint set and you get the actual diorama set as well. What more could you want? 10 out of 10. Well done, ICM. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, a like, because that helps the channel quite a lot. We need a lot of help with all the strange stuff that's been going on recently on YouTube. All the help you can give us is much appreciated. Who knows, this might be a kit that I might be donating in the future if you join the memberships. But in the meantime, thank you to ICM for donating it. Really lovely model. And I'm really due to build another ICM, I think, once I've got that Mosquito done. The way the Mosquito is going, I think that my target date for completion of Christmas Eve, probably quite pessimistic. I think it might be done by the end of the summer. Touch wood, famous last words, you know. It's going quite well now, isn't it? I think a lot of you can see it's going at quite a pace. I'm probably, truthfully, about 40 to 45% through it in terms of the actual number of hours required. Something I haven't mentioned actually, I think the number of hours I've put into that kit now is reaching about 190 hours. And I'm only 45% through it, so that tells you what it's going to be like for me. But I don't think you should rush these things. Anyway, going back to the point in hand, I think I need to do an ICM kit. I must. There's one or two coming through. I might choose. Maybe one of the Marauder kits. I might do that. I don't know. Or perhaps the next one that I'll review. So I'll keep you in suspense what that might be. But I'll be back soon. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to ding the notification bell, select all to make sure you get told about the next thrilling instalment of a review I'm going to do. And until then, thanks very much for joining me and all your time. Stay well, stay safe, and until next time, thanks a lot, and bye for now.